Fresno State, certainly for you as a player and now as a coach, what's it mean to you?
Yeah, obviously it's a big game for both schools, and it's a big game because it's the next one for both teams, right? And so I don't know if there's a specific memory that sticks out to me. I know there's been a couple of really good battles between the schools during my time playing and coaching, and we're going to have another good one on Saturday. So I know we're excited, and the guys are excited to go play.
Every former player I talk to says that's one of the most hostile environments they go into. Was that the case for you?
Yeah, it's a very hostile environment. It's a great environment. You know, it's one of those things. You have 40,000 people, very passionate Fresno State fans. They're going to be loud. There's a long walk from the locker room down the field with the hill going, up or down, depending on which way you're going. And those fans are ruthless when you're walking down that walkway. And so that's awesome. It's going to be an awesome opportunity for our guys to go play in an environment like that and ultimately focus on us and what we got to do to win the game.
Is there a game there that you played that you'll always remember? One that stands out to you?
Oh, one that sticks out. 2013 sticks out in a bad way.
Because you guys lost by a lot of points.
Yeah, you remember the losses a lot more than the wins, to be honest with you. And so that one sticks out in a negative way. But at the same point, we had a lot of good memories there too.
How nice was it to see Prince get his first touchdown?
Yeah, awesome job by him. It was one of those routes we didn't throw to him at all during the entire week of prep, and he was ready for it during the game when it really mattered. And he ran a good route, made a contested catch, and first and many for that guy. So I'm super excited for him.
Well, he's had some games where he's been in and out. I know he's a big fan favorite. Every week we've always asked you about him. But what does he need to do to kind of get to that next level where he can earn more consistent playing time?
Yeah, it's very similar. Like we keep talking about like what Eric was doing last year and now what he's doing this year. It's just being consistent with your preparation and going out there and doing your job at a high level with detail. And when the ball comes your way, making a play, which was awesome for him to go do that on Saturday. And then we saw him do it a little bit earlier. But it's the consistency piece in terms of his preparation and going out there and executing his job over and over and over again. It's going to earn him more playing time.
How does he get in that position, and Matt? If he doesn't really get that rep in a game week, and he was in the slot, wasn't he? How was he?
He was outside.
He was outside. Okay, sorry. Well, either way, how does he work himself into that position to?
Yeah, and that's where it's always a challenge for some of those guys. You get your reps at practice, right? So you got to make the most of those reps. But out of those reps, it might be 10, it might be 200 during the course of the week. You better make them all count and be consistent with your job and do it at a high level. And if the ball does come your way, or if you're the backside guy blocking on a run play going away from you, what type of effort you bring in terms of blocking for your buddy. And so all those things we evaluate every single day, and Prince is doing a good job, and that will allow him to get more playing time.
With Eric, he's hitting this a point of consistency where 150 plus receiving yards aren't like out of the normal for him. As he continues to kind of grow and really take this next step, like what is the key for him week to week to continue that trajectory?
Yeah, I think just continue on the path he's taken. He spent a lot of time on his own preparing, which is really showing up and allowing him to be able to make some of those plays. I think that you have to tip your hat to the offensive line, give him the quarterback time, and the running back in protection. The quarterback's giving Emac some chances down the field, and he's doing a really good job with contested catches with somebody on him catching the ball. But I think for him to take the next step is just eliminating some of these 4 or 5 plays a game where he's not doing what he's been doing on some of the other explosive plays. I think if he's able to eliminate those plays, you're really going to see him take another huge step forward and really be a dangerous elite receiver.
How astute is Emac towards maybe the history of the position at this school? Is he aware of who he's tracking down? Does he make those people aware that he's tracking them down?
I would say probably not. I think Emac's very focused on like the present, what he's got to get done right now, and he's going to keep that linear focus going forward. And I think that's something that really separates him too, is that type of focus. I don't think he gets too high, too low, and he's really focused on what's important right now, and that's whether that's a class or a meeting or a practice. That's where he's going to be locked into. And I don't know if he's too familiar with some of the guys, other than the things we talk about sometimes in the meeting room, of a certain clip that we might be showing of a certain player that he's like, hey, this guy was a productive player at Boise State. There's another NFL guy who's a productive NFL guy. Maybe he played at Boise State, maybe he didn't. But other than that, we're pretty linear focused.
Is there a longer walk to a locker room than at Fresno?
Oh man, not off the top of my head. No, I mean, it's a decent walk. Yeah.
Any crazy stories there about like something a fan said to you, or like they threw something at you or something?
No.
Matt looks at people and melts them.
Yeah.
New Mexico's kind of long.
New Mexico's long. That's a great point, BJ. Yeah, New Mexico's long. Southern Utah was I don't know if it's still the same way. Southern Utah was really long. You got to walk through a parking lot. So I think Northern Colorado was a long one, but that's back in the Big Sky days.
Just offensively, you guys are obviously scoring 30 plus points, and at times it's looked more in rhythm than others. But the final numbers look up at the end of the game and they're pretty impressive. I mean, how much room do you still think there is to continue to grow this offense?
I think there's a bunch of room still. You know, I think we've shown flashes of that rhythm, what we're capable of doing, but the same consistency is needed on a daily basis, on a certain drive, on a certain quarter. That's going to start in practice. The habits we build every single day, from our pre-snap operation to our ball security, how we're catching the football, how we're shifting and motioning, and how we get ourselves in rhythm to go execute at a high level. And so that thing is going to come with more reps with some of these young guys around, some of the older guys. It's melding those guys all together. You know, playing with Mad Dog and TG, you know, it's just going to take some time, but we're making the right strides in the right direction. And so I don't think we've reached the surface by any means, but we're excited about the challenge of getting to that rhythm where it's every single play consistently over the course of a game.
Why is Fresno so good? I mean, in what they do, you found yourself, I think, having to root for them when Kirby was there and stuff. Like, I mean, and you've talked to people who work there, obviously. What do they do well?
Oh, I think the one thing is just like we talk about from Boise, the people in Fresno, they're very passionate about Bulldog football, right? I think the players they have there are very passionate and prideful of the Valley, right? And it means a whole bunch to put that uniform on and go play for that university. And I think they play a physical brand of football. They play a smart, detailed brand of football on all three phases. And they're very passionate and prideful of the work they put out there. And so that leads to some success, obviously, right? And so I compare it a lot to the same things that we preach in terms of our pride and commitment to this valley of Boise, and you know, the details that we want to go play with and the mentality we want to go play with. I think they have that same thing. It's led to success over a long period of time. It just hasn't happened overnight.
Anything else?